Greetings petrolheads and welcome to vromrom.net, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing. Welcome to the channel and welcome to the fourth race of the Automobilista 2 Community Cup. Today it's Sigma P1 at Watkins Glen, and of course with me as always the wonderful Prownage. Hi, how are you, mate?
Good evening, sir. Doing very well, thank you. Looking forward to tonight's race as always.
By the way, the Automobilista 2 HUD is being seen as they have gone into yep, thank you. And at some point, if he's not already in the commentator booth, which I would have to look, he is. Jim, you are here also today. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm loitering in the background once more. Eyes on the track to hopefully give you info on where the best battles are. Pleasure to be in the commentary booth again. Thank you very much.
Thanks for being here. Always a pleasure. Jim, for those who are new to this, is the organizer of the organizer. That's the English word of the Automobilista 2 Community Cup, which is now in the fourth race soon and in the first season, but there is already a second season planned, right, Jim?
Yeah, it's the early stages of planning, but it's been a good success. We got 6 communities all involved right at the start, and they've each put 4 drivers forward, and that's why we've got these great races going on at the moment. But we're hoping in 2023 to run AMS2 Community Cup 2023, and hopefully get some more teams involved, more communities involved. So I think if you are interested, just get in contact with Serta or myself. You can email me, jim@justrace.net, if you want to find out about getting into the 2023 Community Cup.
So typing the email into the chats of Twitch and YouTube.
We're probably going to start getting some lap times on, the initial flying laps set. So, who's your man of the race going to be then, Serta? Who you got your eyes on? Is it the usual Drew? He's a quick guy, or have you got somebody else in mind?
I mean, we were commentating before the start of the stream. So this, for those who for the viewers, this is going to start rainy. And we were watching him racing in the rain and doing what was it, 145 remind me?
He was doing a 145 on the wet tyres. It was just as the dry line was starting to form, so it was late on in the during the rain effect. But yeah, he was still consistent and fast.
So I fear very much because of the others, or for the others, I fear very much that Drew is going to be the beast again.
Well, he's just got that pole spot. I was just watching him go round a 42 dead. That is very, very quick. 142.070. Tocker was doing very well. Where is he? I'm trying to find him on track to see if he's on a flyer. I think he's about halfway round. He was doing pretty well. I don't think he's going to get the pole position, but I think he's going to be high up there, is Tocker.
He's just coming round the left-hander into sector 3.
Have you got your eyes on anybody particularly? Not necessarily the fastest driver, Drew, Prownage rather, which obviously is likely to be the KCSR boys again. But anybody you think is going to give us a good race tonight?
Not sure. We're just looking at how the qualifying tables are looking right now. Johnny B's just put in a really solid time himself. He's only 7.5 tenths behind Drew.
Yeah, very quick. Barry gave us a cracking last couple of lap battles. I think it was Barry and Rocco. We're trying to remember who the 2 drivers. I know it was Barry. Or was it Barry and Flying Hawkick? I'm not 100% sure. My memory fails me. I should have done my research. But Barry M, who hasn't set a time yet, he did very well last time. So he might be a driver to watch.
Well, you raced in the shakedown events, didn't you? So, you know,
I did.
Surely you've got a pretty solid idea of who you think is going to be.
Well, Drew was quick. I have to say, Drew was very quick. But this race is definitely not all about speed. It is a very tricky combo because of the the weather change. Basically, we've got a day-night transition and a weather change as well. Starting wet, ending dry. You've got to keep, it's obvious really, but you've got to keep that car pointing in the right direction or you're not going to do that well. I wasn't particularly quick, and in the second shakedown I did pretty well because I managed to keep it pointing the right way. And Drew did certainly make a mistake in the first shakedown. He spun out, so he's not completely infallible. He is super quick, but he occasionally does still make mistakes, so it could mix things up a little bit.
In any case, driving these prototypes in the wet on Watkins Glen is gonna be a beauty to see because they're not easy.
Oh,
I was just watching Tucker. Did you see him?
Tucker, yeah, that was unfortunate.
Oh, are you watching as well?
Really well, yeah.
I was about to say, if you've got your eyes on a PRC car, then let's have a look at it because the skin they've done is absolutely fantastic. That's Phoenix Racing Club. It's a beauty, isn't it?
Let's do a nice flyover of this skin. Oh yes, very tasty. I'm a sucker for black and fire. I always have to.
I'm a man who always goes for the orange car whenever there's a skin choice. I always go for orange. I don't know why. I think it's maybe a warning to other drivers that I'm there, maybe something like that.
I have a similar philosophy. Mine is I'll have a quick scan of who's driving what on the grid, and then I will go for the most obvious and egregious and standout livery that I can find. But that's me.
Indeed. But all the boys have done quality work on the skins. Every team puts together a skin all by themselves. There's not one skinner doing all the work. Each team has somebody who makes the effort and puts a skin together, with the help of others as well, for those that aren't familiar with it. And it does give it a great feel seeing the cars go around and knowing who your teammate is, or who your teammates are, rather, just by looking at them. And maybe who your main competitors are. Like, I know the AMS2CC boys, that's my gang. The AMS2CC boys are obviously keen to try and get a few positions off KCSR. They got, was it the top 3, 1, 2, 3 last race?
DCR,
yeah, they did.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a maximum respect to KCSR. They do a great job, but it'd be nice to get that mixed up a little bit, and maybe the weather will do that for us today.
By the way, we were seeing the back of the car, and we were seeing the rear wing moving. Jim, tell us a little bit about that, because you told me before the stream, that was the start of the stream, that is a little bit like DRS in Formula 1.
Yep, it's very, very similar. These cars are rev limited though, so the gear ratios can't be adjusted, and the after the S's, the back straight as it were, you are on the rev limiter. So the DRS basically allows you to get to the top speed quicker, but you can run at top speed whether you use it or not. Now, unfortunately, I believe the game doesn't show when the driver's actually using it. I believe it just animates it based on the speed of the car, so you're not necessarily seeing what the driver's choosing to do, just what the game kind of does to make it look realistic. So just because you see the DRS operating, the rear flap operating on the wing, doesn't mean it's actually the driver operating it. Right now, if I was to be watching somebody, I don't know if you're still watching somebody, Brownage, but Tucker, who I know was quick, has not been able to put in a clean lap. He is way off pace, down in 21st, the last of the drivers who have set a lap time. And I would expect him to hopefully get a decent lap in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, we are just running down into the last 5 minutes of qualifying now, aren't we?
Say, who's this Rocco? It's the first time that he takes part in the races, right?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
Rocco's been around every race so far.
All right, I'm blind.
He's pretty fast usually, but he's a little bit behind the curb clippers guys.
Well, I think he's done a good amount of practice for this, because I know. Well, one, he's racing for RPM, and this is their combo. So yeah, he might well have done some extra practice, given it's their community's chosen selection. But also, I know he has the fastest time on the in-game time trials for this combo. Because I may have been looking for a decent setup when I was practicing myself, and happened to spot a fellow AMS2CC racer with the fastest time on the board. So he's not slow, is Rocco? Certainly not at this combo either. So he's currently in 6th place, I think.
Nope, he moved. He was 4th, but now he moved to 6th.
Yeah,
You're right.
It's just because Tucker. I said to keep an eye on Tucker, and Tucker just
we
bumped
were
himself
watching
up.
it. Flew round that time. Absolutely incredible. That.
But for anyone out there, just copying the setup of somebody else is not gonna help you automatically. You will have to check if that setup also fits your style of driving.
Oh, definitely. When I copied his setup, I mean, don't tell him. Obviously, he'll never find out because I'm sure he won't watch the stream. But I did copy his setup, and I was at least a second and a half slower than him. So it was like, yeah, this doesn't work for me. So yes, there could have been a skill factor in there as well. I don't know. So, let's give a quick run through the standing zone with 3.5 minutes to go. We've got Drewface. He is a second out at front. He is mightily quick at 141.7. Johnny B, another KCSR driver. So P1 and 2 to KCSR. He's in 2nd place. Front row lockout. Rocco, he's just snuck up into 3rd as I'm about to announce who 3rd was. Rocco for RPM is in 3rd. And a great showing for the RPM boys because Flying Hawkick is in 4th. 5th place, Tucker 2 Freak for PRC. 6th place, Bruce Law, KCSR. Oh, an incident? Did you catch an incident?
Yep.
Yeah.
Tell us what happened.
Rocco's coming around turn 1 on his fast lap heading up the hill into turn 2, and he bumped into, I think it was one of the NRT guys.
Were they running slow out of the pits or something, maybe? Or
No. I think he slid on track and stopped in the middle of the track.
Unlucky. Yeah. Anyway, so we got to, I think it was 7th blank file KCSR, Evil Noodle for NRT. NRT doing very well. I note, unfortunately, we haven't had an AMSU name up there. AMSU boys struggling tonight. Mad Mike plays for RPM in 9th place. Then we get to a glut of AMSU drivers. I said we'd do the top 10, but 10th place is James' wife, AMSU. Loz in 11th. Barry in 12th, all AMSU. So AMSU got a midfield lockout at the moment. But hopefully we'll get an improvement on that.
Just on board with James for AMSU right now, who seems to be on a fast lap. See if he can improve his time.
Oh, by the way, as we saw the accident, just a note to our viewers: damage is at 100%. So anything that you do in these cars in this race is gonna make a boo-boo. And I would have to look it up. I think these cars are not yet on this new damage system that Reza programmed into the sim.
I'm not sure if they've been updated, but we don't enable the advanced mechanical damage model, AMDM as they call it. We do have mechanical damage turned on, but that's kind of another layer on top of the default damage, as it were. Which we don't enable for the races at the moment. I'm sure we will do for season 2023, but we're not for this season.
Yeah, also because it's not in for all the cars. For those who don't follow sim racing news, that nearly Reza just did an immense uptick to the physics. They have things in like the torque of the motor when you rev up, moves the body and stuff like that. Crazy stuff. Like they nerded out completely, and therefore when you first of all, when you mistreat the motor or any other part like the clutch or something like that, you run the risk of destroying it or at least damaging it to some percentage. And second of all, they have a database for many of these cars, not all, but for many of these cars, they have a database of historic failure rates. So the probability of some part of the car involved in a failure is based on the historic data that these guys have. So like really, they nerded out completely.
They are very good at that. The qualifying session has effectively ended. Anybody who's on a flying lap will be able to complete it. So we're in that final countdown to the end of qualifying. Only a couple of drivers on track. Rocco's on track. Flying Hawkick is on track, and James Y, I think, is still on track as well.
Rocco's just coming back up onto the into sector 3 right now. See if he can get a fast time.
Going for the Aston Martin colors, I see.
He's going pretty well.
That exit is great. By the way, Jim, the track limits, how are they set up? Not very strong.
Not
right?
enough.
So yeah, the track limits are definitely in there. You can run pretty wide on turn 1, but it depends on a lot of factors as to whether it will give you an invalid lap or not. Most of the other corners you've got to stay within the kind of the white lines, the normal designated way of marking out what is the racing track or not. But turn 1, I think, as in real life, you can run wide there and it's not penalised too heavily. And yeah, you can do the same here. It's not necessarily quicker though, I have to say. Not massively quicker to run very wide.
Surprisingly, we have at third somebody who is not from the Curb Clippers. Toka Freak put himself on third, and it's going to be a standing start, right? Not a rolling start.
Yeah, standing start in the wet, so the track is already wet, but it's just light rain. That ends about 10 to 15 minutes worth of light rain, and then just as it starts to get dark, the track will start to dry up. The shakedown events that we did for testing
give me a sec. Brown, can you turn off the HUD from Automobilista? Thank you. Yeah, you were saying.
No worries, yeah. The shakedown events that we did, we didn't have as many drivers, so it'll be interesting to see whether the drying line clears up more quickly, which I would expect it to do so with 20 plus drivers on the track compared to sort of 5 or 10 that we had in the shakedowns. But yeah, you were just going through the order. So the front row lockout for KCSR with Juface on pole, Johnny B 1990 in second, PRC sneaked third place with Talkatoo Freak. RPM doing really well. It's their combo. Rocco and Flying Hawkick taking 4th and 5th. NRT get an appearance in 6th place with Evil Noodle. AMSU managed 7th with James Y. KCSR do an 8th and 9th lockout with Boost Law and Blank Foul. And then rounding off the top 10 with 30 seconds to go before we go to race is Mad Mike for RPM. It's going to be a crazy start, but I think these guys are really good at being respectful on track. They're going to do the best to avoid each other. There's a good amount of grip despite the wet weather, as long as you've gone out with wet tyres. I don't know if there's any sneaky people going to try and do slicks at the start and therefore not have to pit. If they do a bit of fuel saving, they might avoid having to pit, but that's a risky strategy. 5 seconds to go. I'll let you do the start, guys. I'll go quiet.
There we go. Whoa! Okay, Curb Clippers with a good start. For now, everything is staying as it was. First, second, third, fourth, and fifth. No changes. But of course, further behind, there are some changes.
Everybody clean through turn 1, which is great to see, isn't it? Everybody got through cleanly?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems so.
Now they'll be screaming. They'll be on that rev limiter down that back straight. Doesn't matter whether they use DRS or not. They'll be on that limiter. Very risky to use the DRS through the S's. If you do, you're going to end up spinning off. I think I saw a wing bouncing down the track, so hopefully...
Hawkick's had a big off. Oh, someone from Phoenix has also had an off.
And a second one off already. So what was it? Flying Hawk and Andrew are off and lost positions mightily. But at the front, everything is staying as it was with Johnny, Drew, Toka, and Rocco places 1 to 4.
Roy from RPM making a few moves coming through sector 2. He's going again. Got the inside. Has he got room? Oh,
No, don't. Oh, on the grass? I wouldn't do that.
brave. He's held it together. Let's see if he can hold it through this corner.
Yeah,
think
but
he's
you
made
can
it.
see how carefully he's taking it, like, whoa. So
He's got the position.
at the front there's been some small change, as Johnny B is taking first position and Drew is on second position, but that might change right now as
We're switching to
yeah.
Loz Archer in 9th place. Loz Archer behind Blankfowl and Bruce Law. They're both
and
swapping around going.
Drew lost control.
Oh my gosh.
There we go.
Is Drew joined safely? He's joined.
It's recovered
Yes.
quickly.
He is rejoining now, but it was safe. But of course, he lost a lot of places. He's now on 9th.
Leaves Johnny B out in first. Talkative
It's
Creek
quite-
right behind him and Rocker clinging on.
Quite a nice
Even
battle
though
going
they'll
on
think
for
it's
6th,
good.
7th, and 8th. If you want to switch back to that, that's Bruce Law, Blankfowl, Loz Archer. There's a kind of a group of 4 to 5 drivers, all currently sort of nose to tail, trying to find their way through.
They're pretty backed up from third backwards. It's a nice stream of cars running through.
So, do the drivers know when the rain is stopping, or did you guys just throw some dice and put it in without them knowing?
No, we've won 2 shakedown events with all having exactly the same settings. As Drew Face makes a little move on Loz Archer.
Making a
As he
dive.
tries to regain some places, he's
Nice.
sliding.
Taking it.
I think he makes it stick. Well done, Drew. Fought his
Yep.
way back up to 8th place. So back to the weather. It is kind of a fixed weather setup. The rain will stop after about sort of 10 to 12 minutes. Maybe slightly more, but then the drying line will start to form. But at the moment, it's still very, very wet out there on track.
Eagle's got a great exit out of this corner on Rocco.
But doesn't either doesn't decides it's not worth it, or doesn't find the place around him.
It's a risky spot
The driver's
to take
going
in,
very
really.
wide there. Yeah, of course it's risky. Yeah, with these cars in the rain in at Watkins Glen, man.
I think James White just hit the wall, exiting the final corner, has got damage. He's sticking way offline now. I'm sure he's got damage. He's trying to keep out of the way. That's a real
He's
shame. He was
back left, so he has to be a little bit worse for wear.
the fastest driver at AMSG. That's a real shame. I did sort of warn at when we were introducing the event that this is going to be a race of man against weather, as much it is driver against driver, and that has already shown to be the case. With Drew making a mistake early on, a number of drivers having contact with barriers and walls.
He's climbing up through the pack now in 7th place and gaining a lot of ground on Blankfile. The weather effects in AMS are absolutely fantastic, aren't they?
Yep. And luckily, I updated my graphic card in time to be able to show it.
Oh, you maxing out the glorious settings, are you?
Yes, absolutely, and I do so too on VR now.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
Yeah. That was. I mean, for once in my life, I wanted to be able to drive Assetto Corsa Competizione on VR without lag. A glorious moment. No, I mean.
Evil Noodle in 4th place, Pranage. If you're able to switch to him, he's tucked in quite close to Rocco. And he's got a
been
good
there
exit
a
out that
while.
last corner. Are we going to get a move down that start-finish straight? He's having a look. I think that's more of a look to unsettle him. I don't think he's going to go for it.
Yeah, I would have
Hey,
been
I'm
quite
here,
a dive from that if he would have done that there.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
Rocco's gone
but Rocco
wide.
goes wide.
Very odd. He may get a track limit violation for that. You are allowed, I think from memory, I can't remember if it's 4 or 6. It was an upside-down car. I don't know who that was. Somebody
No,
was
me neither.
upside down.
Drew, maybe? No.
No, I
Sorry.
think it was
No,
might
no.
have been James White because he's now
Yeah.
in the pits. It may have been
pits,
James
yeah.
White.
It's a lot of damage.
We're seeing
in the
some of the
pits.
drivers in pit already, but I suppose it was because of damage. Whoops!
Yeah,
That's
they'll be
a flying
repairing
car
damage.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a hawk kick actually flying
What
through
the
the air.
heck?
It's called flying hawk kick.
First time that we're seeing that.
Yeah,
It
it's,
happens sometimes.
it is unfortunate. A bug with AMS2 multiplayer, man. There's occasionally you get a flying car, and it does have a. I know Rise are aware of it. I'm sure that are aware of it. Rather, I'm sure they're working on it. And
Absolutely, they are.
Yeah, unfortunately, causes a few issues because other people can't see you, but you are affected by other people. So.
Oh, we're seeing who is that?
It's Rocco and Noodle. Noodle.
Oh, we're still watching that battle.
Just flicked back to it. It closed up again.
The dirty air from coming off the back of another car can really impact your ability to get close. But I think Evil's doing a great job of kind of keeping it tight and clean and keeping that pressure on Rocco. And we've seen Rocco run a little bit wide, make a few mistakes, and we might see Evil be able to capitalise on that.
See if he gets a solid exit out of this final corner. Looks like he's got a good one, but it's not going to be enough. Not going to get that run down.
Oh, he's got a good exit there. The downside to this particular combo is that right now you can't use the DRS through the S's. It just doesn't. It unsettles the car way too much, and you'll crash. And then by the time you get to the straight, you're already on the limiter, so there's no advantage to using it. These guys will both be on the limiter. Will he do a late brake move? No. Playing it very safe is Evil.
Yeah, I mean, on the chicane, I wouldn't be meddling around in the chicane in the rain.
No. But even in the dry, you can't. Oh, Rocco's
having a look. He's having a look.
There'd be an outside move.
No.
Oof.
No.
Rocco making that car super wide.
Yeah.
I think so. Looking a little bit further down the field, I'll go and have a scan down. Drew is having a look at Bruce Law now. Yeah, Drew has just picked up a place against Bruce Law, and that is right behind the battle that you've been watching for Evil Noodle and Rocco. So Drew is now 5th place behind Evil Noodle, just about 1 second gap between the two, and then Drew will be back up with Evil and Rocco.
That's a great exit. He's got the drive.
Yeah, but he's going for it. Yeah,
Switch
no.
back. Nope, Rocco covered that really well there. Slammed that door pretty late, but he slammed it hard.
But if I was Rocco, I would be sweating blood.
Oh, he's close here. If he gets a better exit.
See, whilst they're back,
He's got him.
Behind them.
So he's going for the inside line, and he's got
him this time. Yeah. Now, how long will it take Drew to find his way past Rocco? I don't know if you want to switch to Drew. The in-car view is quite nice because you can see both drivers ahead of him.
A little bit of chase cam. Oh, he's going around. He absolutely pinned it. Did Rocco have a slowdown?
I don't know. The game doesn't do slowdowns. Maybe Drew just got an epic draft. I don't know. Or just a really good exit, I would imagine.
I mean, we're talking Drew here, right? He's not exactly a slouch.
He was about a second quicker in qualifying, so yeah, he's no slouch out there. And he is fighting his way back from an early spin, and he's doing a cracking job of it as well. So maximum respect to Drew.
Driving straight through the spray.
So Jim, the drivers that all went into pit, are they gonna be able to have some advantage from it, like being able to, I don't know, top up on fuel or something like that, and not needing to go into pit? Not right, because they have to change from wet to dry.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, if they could have held out till about sort of 15-20 minutes of the race gone, that would be a very early stop for slicks, but they might have been able to get away with it. It might be worth switching to Barry M, who's having a little look at Mad Mike Plays. That's a fight for 10th and 11th. Barry in 11th and Mad Mike in 10th. But yeah, there's unless you happen to be able to kind of get damage and be able to come in around that sort of 15-20 minute mark, then changing to slicks is going to be a terrible decision earlier than that. But you can see now it's not raining. What we're getting now is just a spray off the track. I don't believe we're getting rain falling from the sky as it were anymore. So we might start to... Oh no, there's a little bit still falling. Apologies, we have still got a little bit. It should start to ease off and dry up quite soon.
I think down the other end of the track it's stopped raining.
Yeah, I think that's where I was watching one, and I thought, oh, it stopped raining, but no such luck. We're getting that sunset now, getting a bit of the beautiful evening golden hour sun as the rain stops, the clouds part, and the game just looks gorgeous.
By the way, Raptor has just informed on the chat that he got hit in the bus stop, and when he was trying to get out after going into pits, he had issues with the clutch, so he's out of the race, unluckily.
Oh, it's a shame for Raptor.
That's unfortunate. Oh, Loz is having a look.
Nice.
Raptor is a Mooney GT driver. It's a shame because he's pretty quick as Raptor. Who are you watching at the moment, Branage? Because I can't see your screen, sir.
I'm having a look at Loz and his little battle with blank file. He keeps getting really close and having a look, but he's not been able to make anything stick as yet.
Well, Barry and Mad Mike are side by side, and I think Barry's made his way through. Barry just picks up 10th place on Mad Mike.
Through the inside there.
By the way, to anybody on the stream who is wondering why we don't see which gear the drivers are on, that is by design, so that people cannot see how others drive.
Someone's had a bit of a spin. We've spun out blank file. Spun out on the exit of the final corner. I wonder if he got tapped. There goes Nessie.
And it's a bad place to spin because rejoining is going to be difficult there. Drew, by the way, already on 4th. Remember that he spun out and he was many places below, and now he's already on 4th, and of course,
Someone
3rd.
from Phoenix. Taka 2 Freaks had a spin.
Yeah.
Oh, such a shame. Tucker was doing so well. Hopefully he's not got any terminal damage. Can he get back in cleanly and safely?
It's returned to
no. Oh, that's such a shame. He must have had terminal damage. That is a real shame for Tucker. He was having a great race for Phoenix Racing Club. Real shame. We've lost a few drivers now. So far our DNFs are Raptor, Tony Matthews, and Tucker, I believe, has just DNF'd as well. So 3 DNFs.
That puts Drew Face up into 2nd. It was an excellent recovery from, was it 9th he fell back to?
Yeah. Something like that.
So definitely looking at the weather now, it does appear that it's pretty much stopped raining in most parts of the track.
Yeah, it looks like it's drying up.
And we're just waiting for that drying line to form. Still with 19 drivers going around, that should happen pretty quickly. I run down in the standings then. Johnny B in the lead. He's 4 seconds ahead of Drewface, who's fought his way back after an early spin in 2nd place. Evil Noodle in 3rd. Rocco in 4th. Bruce Law in 5th. Loz Archer in 6th. 7th place, Mr. Wholehouse. Barry M making 8th place. Mad Mike, 9th place. Finishing off the top 10 is Nessie for the Nomad Racing team. Trying to look for the closest battles. Who have you got that you think that's having a good battle at the moment? Have you spotted anybody?
Blank File's going to be making a move back on Nessie shortly.
Let's have a look.
Closing in very consistently.
Now we might start to see some pit stops happening quite soon. This would be early, but it's not impossible to do. Once you get onto those slick tyres, you've really got to stay on that dry line, or you are going to be going straight off the track. Yeah.
There we go. Pile up the inside.
Yeah, Nessie outbroke himself there. There's a spin car.
Ooh.
He's going to be facing the wrong way. Not sure who that was.
I'm not sure either.
I think it was one of the back markers who'd had a mistake and was just waiting for a safe moment to rejoin, I think. So Dewface setting some really good laps. Johnny B's just set his fastest first sector. Rocco's now claimed the fastest first sector, so the lap times are starting to pick up as the track dries out. So Rocco's in fourth place. He's just got the fastest first sector time of 29.5 seconds.
You can really see the dry line starting to form on the track now.
I think we're going to see a flurry of pit action. I mean, when in the shakedown events, I was coming in at around the 35-minute mark. But as I say, that was a far fewer drivers. That line is really starting to show up. You can see now certain drivers also going off racing line on the straights to cool those tyres. Because the earliest sign of the need to change tyres is that you overheat the wets, basically. So a lot of people coming off the racing line on the straights to get some water and cool down those tyres. I'll keep an eye on the drivers.
Doing that messes up your racing line, so it's always difficult. But normally you win more by keeping the tires cool than by anything else. So yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Then you lose by going offline. I'll keep an eye on people as they go around then. So I'm watching the leader, and I'll call out as I see anybody going into the pits. So Johnny's still out the lead, but Dewface has caught him back to just under 2 seconds.
By the way, in case anybody is wondering what are those numbers doing around place 12, that's the session timer, and somehow the SimHub thing here is glitching, which it didn't do last time, so I don't know. It's the wrong phase of the moon or something like that.
Lods has got a great run out the final corner. See if they can make a move on Bruce Law. It doesn't look like they're going to have enough speed. Nah, it's not happening. It's not happening.
I think he might have, might be trying to put a little kind of a spook on Bruce Law, or maybe just trying to keep his tyres cool as well. All the top 5 or 6 drivers have been going offline. We've got a Matt Holhouse, I think it's Matt or Matthew Holhouse. He's in the pits for his tyre changes. One of the first drivers to come in. Not for damage, but for tyres. Everybody else carried around. So this is an early stop, but will it pay dividends?
Messi coming in as well.
And it's too soon for them to be able to top up on fuel, right? I mean,
they need a splash of fuel at most. A splash of fuel. So no, they can come in at any time for fuel. The decision maker is the tyres, if you see what I mean. Mm-hmm. So they need maybe 5 or 10 litres.
Will they be able to finish the race on dries that they put now?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. So the tactical choice is when to pit, and if you get it right, you can certainly gain quite a bit of time by being able to be quicker on the slicks. But coming too early, you'll lose a lot of time. So I'm going to stick with Mr. Holhouse. I'm watching him, see how he copes with slicks on a damp track.
And who are we seeing now?
Having another look at Loz and Bruce Law having a continuing their battle, but again, Loz just not able to make that pass and make it stick. Coming into the last turn now.
Third place Evil Noodle has gone into the pits.
Both cars have got a great run out of that corner there. Slow's going for a late braking move. And it's not close enough.
So sometimes in racing, coming near your opponent is the easiest part of the racing. Overtaking, complete different story.
We're still in the pit.
That's a long stop.
So the tyres and the fuel have to be done separately, so they're not fueling it whilst they're changing the tyres. So that's why if you've done a bit of fuel saving, you have an advantage in the pit stop if you can not take any fuel, because they're done separately. So tyres are changed, then the fuel is loaded.
Interesting how many... Go ahead.
I was going to say, I have a sneaky suspicion that some of the AMSU boys might be trying just a tyre swap, no fuel, because I know they were looking at some fuel saving. But go ahead, Barry. Serta, what were you going to say?
It's interesting how many drivers are still out on the wets.
Yeah, I think we're going to see most people coming around the 35-minute mark. Keeping an eye on the leader, the highest driver we've seen come in was third place came in, but we've just seen Johnny out of front really struggle. I think he's going to pit this time. Yeah, Johnny, is he? No, he's staying out.
He's
I thought he was going to pit.
He's pushing.
Drew stays out as well. What's Rocco going to do?
Rocco is also staying out.
Staying out.
Bruce is also staying out. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What does Loz do?
Loz is still chasing him down. Loz is not letting that go at all. Mike's also staying out.
I would go into pit and try the undercut. But
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that would be a good decision. I think now is an early stop, but I think it's a good time. There's a very dry line out there. If you long as
the dry line widening now, isn't it? It's becoming quite apparent.
Is he going? No.
Doesn't quite have the run.
So yeah, I would go for the undercut because you're losing time this way.
I'm looking at Evil's lap time then, because he's pitted and he was very quick. I'm trying to get a feel for if his lap time is significantly off pace or not, if you see what I mean. Now that he's on slicks compared to the others. He's done his stop. He was doing very well.
He's come out now, if he's done his stop recently, he's doing a fast lap now. We'll watch him from the start. So we are on board with Evil Noodle. We're in RT. Early onto the slicks.
So we'll get his first sector time shortly. So Johnny's last first sector was 29.7. Let's have a look at Evil's first sector time. 29.4. So that's a quicker first sector for Evil Noodle on slicks by nearly half a second gained, because Evil's on slicks compared to Johnny, the leader, who's still on wets.
There's lots of gains to be had on the slick. He's made a great move there. That's the power of slick tyres on the downhill there. That's just having that extra grip to launch out of the corner.
Drew is into pits.
Who's in the pits? Okay, so we'll definitely need to watch where he comes out. If you want to watch Drew, maybe, and I'll give you an idea when Evil's coming around. Excellent stuff. I'll tell you when Evil's coming around towards the pit exit, the start-finish straight.
Bruce Law also into pits.
Drew will be taken. Yep, Drew's been released.
Oh, that was a very quick stop from Drew. I suspect maybe he didn't take fuel. I don't know.
Good question.
If Drew is right already, because Evil's only just coming up to the final corner, he's nowhere near. I'm off, and they were quite close. So that is a really quick stop.
Drew is out of pit limiter.
He's going. He's off.
Yeah, very quick stop from Drew. I would expect to see. Well, I suspect he's taken no fuel.
But Evil is in any way raising in positions as many others like Barry M and so on. We're in pit, so Evil is now on 5th place.
Yeah, that's right. But I think the gap between Drew and Evil was about maybe 3 or 4 seconds, and the gap is now in the region of 12 seconds. So a really quick stop from Drew. I suspect he didn't take fuel, and that's a great tactical choice if that's the case. Is Johnny in the pits then? Yeah, Rocco's out at front.
Rocco's still out on the wet tyres, and Loz still on the wet tyres.
Did Johnny have some sort of incident then? Because Johnny was in the lead, and now Rocco's in the lead. Johnny
I didn't
must
see
have
anything,
spun,
but it may very well be.
I think so. I would be surprised if Rocco, Loz, and Johnny don't all go into the pits this time. Rocco's in. He's going in. The leader's going in. What does Loz do? Is he going to stay out? I don't think he should. He is going to stay out.
He's pushing another lap on those wets.
Johnny, in.
Yeah. So Johnny, I'm assuming Johnny might have had a mistake on those wet tyres overheating.
I think so, yeah. We're not even at the halfway point. We've only had 27-ish minutes of this race. 33 still to go. Loz now out in front. Johnny's in the pits. Who are we watching, Cranage? Who have you got streaming?
On board with Loz, just coming up to some back markers.
Excellent.
Giving him a flash. Yep. Do we have
I
anyone
don't think
there?
Johnny took fuel. I think that's the tactic the KCSR boys have done. After they changed the tyres on Johnny's car, I was watching him. It was very quick to be released. Whereas normally, if you take fuel on after that for 6 or 7 seconds, it obviously doesn't release so quickly. So I think that's the clever tactic the KCSR boys have done, is that they've run slightly lower boost pressure and they're not taking fuel.
So they topped up already at the beginning of the race.
Yeah, they'll have taken a full tank at the start, basically.
Will that reach until the end?
Oh yes, well, only you have to do a little bit of fuel saving, but literally you only need to save about 2 litres, which you can do just by running
that's not
slightly,
much.
like
Yeah.
95% boost rather than 100% turbo boost. So yeah, it's definitely an option.
Can you change the turbo from the cockpit?
Yep. You can change the turbo
perfect.
pressure whilst you're running as well. Yeah.
Yeah, then that may very well have been the tactic that they've been using. Yeah. Oh, who went out there?
Barry's had an off.
Yeah, Watkins Glen is not exactly the easiest of tracks out there. Lots of opportunities to mess it up. Believe me, I've used every opportunity to mess up Watkins Glen.
I'm not great around Watkins Glen, but especially in these current conditions, all you have to do is run slightly wide out of turn 1, and you run very wide out of turn 1.
Yeah.
So it looks
The
like
last lap front up. I'd be surprised if he doesn't pit this time. I'm trying to think who hasn't pitted yet. I think Loz must be pretty much the only person.
Rocco seems not to have been in pits, at least according to
Rocco
the leaderboard.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Nessie
Rocco-
neither.
Nessie,
Donny
yeah.
McGarry neither. That would be it.
These boys are definitely hanging out late. I mean, looking at the lap times now, so Evil Noodle's been on slicks for a while. He has set the fastest first sector. He is 0.6 quicker in the first sector than Loz, who's the current leader on wets. We're going to get a second sector split shortly. Loz set a... was it second sector or first sector? Sorry, he's still on the first sector. Oh, in fact, well, I say he's just gone quicker again as Evil Noodle. He's now gone into the 28-second mark in the first sector. So clearly, slicks are a lot quicker, almost a second quicker in the first sector alone than the leader who's still on wets.
By the way, Loz AMSU is on first place. Drew Curb Clippers on second, and Evil Noodle. Man, that's a mixed up. Evil Noodle is on third. So for once, Curb Clippers are not doing a 1, 2, 3. I mean, we still have 30 minutes to go.
Yeah, plenty of time for it to change, I think.
looks like Loz is losing nearly around 2 seconds a lap on Drew Face at the moment, staying out on those wets.
That's
I
not a
think
good
so,
idea.
yeah. I'm just wondering, is he going to try and go to the end of the race? I mean, I don't think it's possible. What are we? 1 minute 45 lap, 30 minutes to go. So what's that going to be? 15, 16 laps?
Yeah,
I don't
think so.
I think it's going to work, is it? A zero stop strategy, I would just think. Yeah. But I think obviously as it gets drier and drier, all the wet tyres will get hotter and hotter, and that's when the slicks are just starting to come into their own. So, yeah. But it might not get him the win, but it might get him a high finishing order because Drew is 10 seconds ahead of third place Evil Noodle. So Loz has a 34-second safety margin, as it were, to stay out on the wets and still get second place.
Yeah, but still, okay. We'll see how
We'll see.
how
I
they
mean,
do, but
I'd expect him to pit, to be honest. But maybe he's just gone. Stuff it. I'm gonna stay on these
if
wets.
if your tires get too hot, you're gonna lose grip.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm watching him. He's not particularly diving off the line all the time to get back to the the wet track to cool his tires off. Oh, I think he's pitting this time. He's pitting. Yeah, Loz is in.
You see?
Oh!
Yep.
Yes.
So It'll be interesting to see where he pops out. I think he'll take some fuel on, or maybe he's doing the cunning tactic as well. So that's going to put Drewface in the lead with Evil Noodle behind him in second place. Rocco will be in third, I think, by the time Loz gets moving. Oh, he's on the move. That was quick. That was quick. Drew takes the lead. Pretty sure Evil Noodle will come through, but I think Loz might pop out in third place.
Brown,
There goes Evil.
Can you show us Loz?
Yeah, Loz is coming out. He's off the limiter. Noodle's through. Where's Rocco? Rocco's screaming down to turn one, but I think Loz is going to be okay.
Yeah. Loz is already on track.
But they'll have to get temperature into those tires.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. The tires are cold. So we have Rocco hasn't been into pit yet, and he and Donny McGarry.
I thought Rocco had pitted. Rocco has pitted, I'm sure he has.
Okay.
And not according to the standings, he hasn't. But it may be that it's not calculated it properly.
Yeah.
I'll look at his lap times. Let's see what he's doing lap time wise. Rocco's doing a very quick lap, so I would think he's on slicks. Whatever he's doing is on slicks. I suspect that he has pitted.
There was two cars off track there, wasn't there?
At least one was very slow and the other was off track. I wonder who that was.
James has taken a lot of damage.
Loz is back into second. Something's happened to Evil. Loz is in second.
Yeah, and Rocco's gained a lot of ground there on third place. Has Noodle got damage? He seems to be slow out of the corners now.
I don't know. Maybe show us some track cameras. Ooh, that was very easy for Rocco. So yeah, maybe.
Fly by, see if we can. Can't really tell.
Nope, I'm not seeing anything, but you can spin and not mess up your car. So hey.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Maybe you just ran very wide or something like that. Because you're on the wet.
But he's got some issue because Bruce is now overtaking him like as if he's standing still.
Yeah.
DRS actually works.
Yes, indeed. So currently we have KCSR with Drewface in the lead. He is 20 seconds ahead of Loz Archer for AMSU in second place. Really nice mix-up of communities here because in third place we have Rocco for RPM, and then fourth place is back with KCSR for Bruce Law. With Bruce Law rather. Johnny B is into fifth place because unfortunately Evil Noodle is losing positions, we think, due to damage, and he is down to sixth place. So the highest driver for NRT is currently Evil Noodle, but I think he's struggling with damage.
He doesn't seem to have proper acceleration out of the straights. He's just losing ground just generally. There's a large gap though between Noodle and his seventh place.
Yeah. So the battle to watch might be, maybe, I don't know, is it Johnny and Bruce? Is Johnny closing in a little bit on Bruce? So about 2 seconds apart. Just trying to look at the gaps between drivers.
It's looking that way for now, yeah. Bruce has fallen back on Rocco. It just seems to have got rapid.
But Evil Noodle not going into pit, so whatever it is, it's not something that pit stop would be solving, it seems.
You can repair pretty much any damage in the pits, but he may have just decided that it's not worth the lost time. He's better off soldiering on, maybe.
If it's
Raptor says that he lost his rear spoiler.
Oh, it's a
in
shame.
the chat.
Oh yeah, if you look, I've just noticed. Yeah, he's right.
But then I would go into pit. I don't know.
say if he can still drive with it and he's going to lose a minute in the pits, why battle again for the position that he could keep? It's
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Johnny is definitely closing in on Bruce Law. I'm not sure who you're watching, Brownage, but
getting very
gap
close
is-
now. Yeah, down to 6/10.
yeah, it's come down from about maybe a second, just over a second, and then less than lap is down to well, just about 6 to 7 tenths, as you were saying. But these are teammates, though. That's Bruce Law for KCSR and Johnny B for KCSR. So I'm sure they won't be kind of battling hard. I would expect if Johnny is clearly fast, I would expect Bruce to just let him through. That would be the sensible thing to do.
And maybe then team orders.
Say again, Brownish, sorry?
You think they're going to pull team orders?
Yes, maybe team orders, yeah. I mean, I'm sure Rocco in third place will be hoping that Bruce and Johnny battle it out, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I mean, generally, I think they have raced. We've just raced. Oh, he's had a wobble. He's gone into the wall.
Oh,
Bruce Law's gone into the wall, and it looks like his steering's knackered. That is pulling to the left. That is pulling to the left really hard. Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, he's
Can't
struggling.
get power down. Is he going to nurse it round to the pit lane?
Evil Noodle
He's
in
lost
pits.
his rear wing. Yeah, he must have come in for that damage. Yeah, Bruce Law cannot. That's a struggle there.
he's got no rear wing, as he's doing his best not to get in anybody's way, but nurse it round.
That
That's
front
really
left side is a real mess.
such a shame. So that's kind of mixed things up again now, because we've got KCSR in first place, MSU second, RPM third, Johnny for KCSR in fourth. Right now, Bruce is in fifth, but he's heading backwards quickly with that damage, which will put NRT in fifth place. So I think it's a really good show. It's just such a shame we haven't got any PRC guys doing that well today.
Have all the PRC guys retired?
I was just trying to see them, yeah, but I couldn't
think
see
they
their names
have.
on the list at all. We're down to we've lost we've lost 7 drivers.
We're down to 15 drivers now.
Yeah,
For
We're down
once,
to
this
15,
is
so
a
yeah.
race of attrition.
yeah, definitely. If you can handle
Noodle's
that,
still in pits.
if you can handle that weather transition and keep it pointing in the right direction, then you're hopefully going to get a reasonable finish. Looking at the leaders, and I'm trying to work out how many pit stops they've done. The pit count doesn't seem to be very accurate, because it's showing
No.
like that Drew's done 2 stops and he hasn't done 2 stops, has he? So yes,
I think
that's not accurate
everybody-
information.
I think everyone in the top 9 has done 1 stop. Oh no, everyone in the top 7. Everyone below 2 minutes has done 1 stop.
Yes, I would think so. Yeah.
I know,
I think
unfortunately, I
Donny
think
got-
Roy's had a rough race. I think Roy's been in the pit about 5 times.
Yeah, I think Donny for MGT, he had an early lap 1, involved in some early lap 1 stuff, and he's come back out and fought on, and he's managed to keep hold of 8th place. So he's done really well.
It looks like Donny's the last one hanging in there for MGT.
And by the way, who's on first place? Drew Face.
He's in first, yeah. Which we weren't sure was going to be, because he fought his way back after that early spin.
Yeah.
I don't think it was self-induced. It wasn't due to contact or anything like that. A self-induced spin, but he's done a great job to claw his way back up to the lead. I
You
think
see a
where
little
it's going to
bit
be,
of morning mist.
yeah. I think where it's going to be interesting thing is possibly that fight for second. There's a bit of gap between the two. We've got Loz in second, 28 seconds behind the leader. Then Rocco, 33 seconds behind the leader, and Johnny, 34 seconds behind the leader. So about 5 to 6 seconds covering second to fourth there.
Yeah, Johnny's quite quick through sector 3. That's where he seems to be gaining quite a lot of ground on Rocco.
And look at that wonderful sunrise. I get similars around here.
I'm trying to look at lap times now to work out then if Johnny is closing or Rocco's closing, see what they're doing. So Loz's last lap was a 146.1. Sorry, that's his best lap rather. So his last lap was a 147.5. Rocco did a 146.2, and Johnny did a 145 dead. So Johnny, certainly based on the last lap times, pulled out 2 seconds on Loz and a second on Rocco. So Johnny in fourth place might be the man to watch at the moment, and he is fairly well tucked in now behind
You need
Rocco.
to make a move soon, I'd imagine.
I'll tell you, the cockpit cam, or the nose cam as it were, with Johnny, which is what I'm looking at, is absolutely beautiful with the mist and the sunrise bouncing and reflecting off the rear of Rocco's car. Gorgeous stuff. There's a back marker there ahead of Rocco. That is not Loz. That's one of the MGT skins. I'm not sure who it is.
Must be Donny, he's the only one left.
Getting out of the way very quickly.
On the power very early there with
Nice
Johnny.
exit,
He's
nice
made a
exit.
great exit.
They'll both be on the DRS. A little cheeky look.
Yeah, but no. But it was a great exit. Okay.
Rocco pushing the track limits, trying to stay ahead of Johnny.
The car on the limit are just absolutely screaming.
Oh, that chicane. Oh.
Donny's gaining some ground on Evil Noodle. There might be another little battle coming up there for 7.
Ooh, coming very near, but not finding any place around him.
Or is he
A
going
bit
to have
of
a
a
look?
look inside. He's having a look. He's going for it.
yes.
I mean,
That
Rocco
was
left the gap.
risky.
Rocco left the gap. I think Rocco was predicting the move and kept it safe. He's had a great drive. It's pointless with 16
Very
minutes to go.
gentlemanly. He's having another
Yeah.
look back.
Keeping Johnny on his toes. So can Johnny catch up to Loz then? The gap is four and a bit seconds between the two. So Johnny has 2 cars ahead of him. I don't know if that's who you're watching on, but Johnny can see 2 cars. Loz is not the first car, that's a back marker. Loz is the second car that you can see in the distance. "15 minutes to go."
So how's the tyre wear on the slicks then around here? Is
Oh,
anybody
it's not a
thinking
problem
about?
at all.
No,
Yeah, you can boot it all the time. It's not a problem. So
So no,
Rocco was Rocco the first drive that came into pits that we saw out of the leaders, and when we looked at the lap times, it was providing you could stay on the dry line. It was clearly quicker. Was Rocco that first driver? I think he was, wasn't he?
I think it was Noodle.
Oh, was it Noodle that did that? Oh, yeah, that's right. Noodle's had the damage, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, he had that off and damaged his rear wing.
Johnny, absolutely. I mean, that's who I'm watching, but he's absolutely perfect driving. That's the corner he's just gone through is one of the tightest, most tricky corners, and I tend to often mess that one up, and he's just on it everywhere. Is that who you're following at the moment? Who are you riding with?
Yeah, we are on board with Johnny B, watching him slowly gain ground on Loz.
So I'm not sure who that's ahead of him, but I think that's
that is
Casey. So that's Bruce Law, his teammate, be ahead of him, a back marker. So he's got Bruce Law just ahead of him, and then Loz ahead of that as well.
Yeah, in the AMS2CC livery, of course.
So Bruce, I'm sure, will be moving out the way as soon as Johnny gets anywhere close. Let's look at the lap time data then to try and work out how much Johnny is pulling in on lap on lap.
Probably
So have a
making
look.
about a second at the moment.
So Johnny's last lap, a 144.3. Loz's last lap, a 145.7. That's give or take a 1.5 second lap difference. Interestingly, Drew is a second quicker, and his fastest lap was the last lap that he just did. So as the fuel starts to run out, and the car and the slick tyres are really nicely warmed up, Drew is setting some scorching lap times. 143.4 for Drew, 144.3 for Johnny, and Loz losing a second and a half to Johnny a lap.
Willie's going to come right down to it for this one.
So Bruce has moved over, is letting him through.
Yielded.
12.5 minutes to go. With a second and a half lap difference, I'm not sure there's going to be much Loz can do. The dirty air certainly does impact the car behind, but I would expect Johnny to have closed that gap within 2 laps, and then it'll be down to what Loz can do. But barring just driving incredibly defensively, and that's high risk. Oh, there's a car on the curb keeping out of the way. Bar Loz driving incredibly defensively, I think Johnny's going to find his way through, which is a shame, but we'll be here to watch that battle.
Exactly.
Final 12 minutes.
I don't want anybody to lose a position, but I want to see them fighting for that.
Yeah, I want to see the action. And we're getting into those closing stages where it's worth, often when you've got a driver behind and they've pulled in a second a lap on you, lap after lap after lap, you kind of know, I'm going to lose a lot of time defending this, and at this stage of the race, with 30 minutes to go or something like that, it's not worth it. Why would you battle that position? You're probably just going to lose other positions as a result of losing time now. So you tend to just kind of, you get next to me, I'm letting you through. But at this stage, with getting to the last 10 minutes or not far away from it, there's definitely more urgency to, not going to make it easy. You got to make that pass. And there's nobody else really, I think, for Loz to battle with. Rocco's not far away, though, is he? Rocco's not far away in 4th. So if Loz loses a lot of time to Johnny, he could also lose a position to Rocco.
And Watkins Glen is not a track where it's easy to overtake. You have a couple of places, but not many.
I mean, Loz has got a hard task here because he's got Johnny, who he's actually battling with. He's got Blankfile, who's a lap behind, but he's right there. He's in that train, and then Rocco is behind, just tagging onto the back of Blankfile as I speak. So if you're riding with Blankfile, with Rocco rather, if you switch to Rocco, who is in 4th place, you can see Blankfile ahead, a lap behind, then Johnny ahead of him, and then Loz just at the lead. And if Loz battles too hard with Johnny, and certainly if Blankfile gets involved as well, unlapping himself, then Rocco could be up for stealing 3rd place. So let's have a look at those lap times then. So Loz did a 1:45 dead, Johnny a 1:44.3, so that's a 0.7 pullback. Rocco 1:44.8, so Rocco pulling out a couple of tenths as well.
And Drew faced comfortably in the 142s at this point, which is just insanely fast.
It is ridiculous. Trying to see Blankfile's lap time, but I can't find him for some reason. My eyes are fooling me. Where's Blankfile?
Because he's not on the grid anymore.
Is he not? Who is it? Who's that? Who have I been saying that I thought was that?
Is Bruce Law.
Bruce Law. I keep saying Blankfile when I mean Bruce Law. Let's start with B. So Bruce is on. With Rocco's just gone past. Rocco's just gone past Bruce Law. So that's a lapping move. So Bruce is just backing off, but that puts Rocco now behind Johnny, and Loz just ahead. So this is a 3-way fight now for 2nd place. With 9 minutes to go, Loz has managed to keep that gap open to Johnny behind, but as a result, Rocco is closing in. I'm just wondering if Loz is managing to pick up the pace just a little bit, because Johnny was closing that gap easily, and it's not happening anymore.
Maybe he has run on the reduced boost and not taken any
maybe.
fuel, and
Yeah, maybe.
maybe he's just down that little bit of power.
Well, let's have a look at these lap times and as they cross the line. Lars does a 1:45.7. Johnny a 1:46.4. He lost time, and Rocco a 1:44.6. So Rocco pulling back a second on Loz and 2 seconds on Johnny there. And that's why Rocco is back in that fight for third and second.
He's not giving up at all.
No, Rocco's right there. He's tucked in, but he'll be on the limiter now already. But he's tucked right in there. Johnny's going defensive.
Whoa, that chicane unsettles the cars.
I like this layout without the chicane.
Yes, I have to say I prefer it without the chicane. I really like it in old cars, like really old vintage F1 without wings and stuff. I know it's a modern layout, but if we had a historic, I know Rise are doing a lot of historic content. A historic Watkins Glen would be quite nice, I think, to have some old vintage F1 racing around. I've done that in Automobilista 1, and so it'd be nice to do the same in AMS2.
Well, never say never.
So I think didn't Jackie Stewart once win around Watkins Glen?
Probably. Your racing knowledge is far exceeding mine, I'm afraid, there, Groundage. He won at a lot of places, so you got a good chance of being right.
No, I'm pretty sure that there was an incident at Watkins Glen one year that Jackie almost refused to race because of the safety standard.
Right.
But he did that a few times. He did that at Spa.
So that lap, Loz picked up the pace a little bit with a 1:44.6. Johnny 1:44.1, half a second quicker. And Rocco at the back there 1:44.3. So very similar pace from all the drivers. Loz doing a great job. I didn't think I gave my prediction a couple of laps ago that Johnny would be up with him within a lap and a half. Well, we're about 3 laps on, and he's only just got up to the tail, I think. So a lot harder to find a way past than it might appear. Plus, Loz has picked up the pace. As you say, maybe he's been fuel saving. Maybe he had boost turned down. He's worked out that he's got enough fuel to get to the end and put that boost on 100% again. Johnny tucked in now underneath.
Having a look,
Loz's wing.
Keep having a look.
Loz definitely knows he's there. Rocco got the best view of this battle ahead. It's,
That's where I've been watching it from. I've been watching it from Rocco's cockpit. It's a good angle. It's been a good spot.
It is good. It's nice to see. And Rocco, I'm sure, will be thinking, I hope these guys have a proper set to. And we also don't want any contact or anything like that. This is gentleman racing. This is the highest standard that we expect. But he will be certainly hoping that they have a set to with each other, and that allows him to close that gap and maybe even make a move if they properly get tangled up and lose a lot of time.
Yeah, with 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, there's a definite chance of that. Johnny is he's hunting around for that sleeve. The exit of this corner needs to be perfect to get the run down the start finish straight with the DRS, and then try and outbrake each other into turn 1. Turn 1 is a prime passing zone. It's not going to be this lap though for Johnny.
No, he's definitely not managed to close enough ground. They both
Ooh,
got. Loz has gone round.
Oh,
that's
bother.
such a shame.
Rocco managed to avoid it. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Can't Loz get it facing the right way, sir?
He's been driving so well.
He has. He'll hold on to 4th place, so that's a real shame. But there's plenty of time now back to 5th place, so Loz will hold on to 4th. Just needs to keep it together, let those tyres cool down. So can Rocco do anything then to close in on Johnny? I think now that Johnny's got clean air, I think Rocco will struggle. But
Yeah,
Loz
Johnny
just
will
made a
run away
mistake.
now.
Also because
Yeah,
if I see it correctly, he went on the brakes to not hit Loss, so...
That's right. The gap opened up a little bit. Yeah, with just 4 minutes to go, it's a big ask to have that. It's about a 3-second gap between Johnny and Rocco at the moment. But
I feel like at the same time, I feel like Johnny's pace in the free air, not being tucked behind Loz, I think he'll
yeah, I think so.
put a bit more time out.
Because we know he was very quick. I mean, Loz did speed up, so he was losing less time, as it were. But I think part of the reason why Johnny was struggling to get really close was because of that dirty air impacting his aero.
But the way it's looking right now, we won't have a 1-2-3 from the curb clippers.
No, we're going to have a 1-2. Looks like way at the moment anyway. And RPM doing a great job in third place. AMSU Loz, he was doing such a sterling job. Such a shame to see him spin and not fight it out to the end. But he's holding on to fourth. NRT in fifth place. So that's a really good showing from a variety of teams there in the top 5, 3 different teams.
There's been a lot of people drop out of this race this session so far. We're down to 12 drivers left now. Oh, that's another big off. That's Johnny B. Has another big off.
Oh, no.
Rocco capitalises. Down he goes.
It's going to be an RPM in P2. Has he got damage though? Has he got damage, Johnny? I don't think he has.
He did hit the wall. He did hit the wall, but
the way he's driving, it doesn't look like he's got damage at the moment.
It doesn't look like his top speed's quite the same, though. He might just have a bit of aero damage affecting his top speed.
Let's have a look at the bumper cam, see if we're going to gauge. I don't think he's got damage now. The way he's driving it, that looks okay to me. I think he got lucky, maybe hit the barriers.
It looks a little bit... It looks a bit scuffed, at least, I think. I'm not sure. The delivery makes it difficult to tell because it's dark on that corner. Yeah, he has. He's got damage. He's definitely got damage. He's got damage of the front splitter. So that's definitely going to affect his top speed.
Well, considering he is still tucked in behind Rocco, who has pinched second place off him with just 2 minutes on the clock. I think we're going to have a very interesting end to the race. If Johnny's car can hold it together... And
Loz is coming, so he's not that far away.
No, he's about 7 or 8 seconds back from Johnny. I think he'll need a mistake from Rocco or Johnny for Loz to pick up a place. Such a shame. Johnny's hunting for that clean air. He's
driving very aggressively now, isn't he? Yeah. He's not letting up.
Oh, he's got the run though. That's a good run.
That is a good exit. But again... It's that aero damage. He does not have the top end.
Nope.
Yeah, maybe.
He was looking to see if there was a gap, but nope.
We're in the final minute then, or just about, with 1 minute 8 seconds on the clock. Drewface out front, KCSR. He's got a resounding lead, 54 seconds ahead of P2. An early mistake from Drew, but he pulled it back, claimed the lead, and he has been clean and comfortable out front since. Rocco for RPM. He is in second place, but he's got Johnny close on his tail. Johnny having just made a mistake, losing him in second place and dropping Johnny to third. Johnny's not given up yet, as we're in the final minute. Loz Archer, he was fighting for second just a few minutes ago, spun out, and he's in fourth with a safe margin behind him. Fifth is NRT, Barry for AMSU in sixth, NRT again in seventh, M Mooney GT, Donny McGarry in eighth, Mad Mike Plays RPM in ninth, and Mugridge Bear in 10th for AMSU. So after this lap, they'll have one more lap. Sorry, Pranage. One more lap. It is a +1 race. Go on, Pranage.
I'm saying Johnny's getting very, very close to Rocco still. He might be able to make a move stick in this last lap.
He's trying to force the mistake, basically, isn't he? He's trying to force that mistake. The pressure will be really on Rocco. There's a back marker ahead as well.
He's managing to be very, very late on the brakes. Back marker's had a bit of a wall scrape. They've pulled over. So another one of the RPM drivers.
Driver, yeah. Oh, very
good exit.
Carried a lot of speed there.
God. Yeah, but he's so tucked in.
It's like Rocco's just beat him on the exit there.
Yep.
And he holds that position for one more corner at least.
But this is the final lap. Well, I think we're going to be sticking with the battle for second place. It's Rocky and Rocco rather, and Johnny. You've followed that battle, Pranage. I'll confirm when Drew goes over the line.
Interesting. Johnny was quite near, but now he's left a little bit of a gap. And now, after the chicane, he's regained, trying to find a way in. Yes.
Do you want to switch to Drew, and you'll see him go across the line for just a few seconds? So Drew just coming to the end of the race, claiming the win. Over the line he goes. I think that's the last lap. Or maybe it isn't. Maybe you're so far ahead they've got another lap to do. I'm not sure. Drew's certainly not slowing down, put it that way. I haven't seen the timer come up either, which makes me think it's not the last lap.
So our leaderboard timer making fun of us.
Yeah, I think Drew, because he's so far ahead, managed to get across the line before that clock got to 0. So there is another +1, I think. Anybody who's been running on vapors might be a little bit concerned about that. But if that's the case, then we'll have that battle between Johnny and Rocco for one more lap.
Johnny's got plenty of fuel if the gauge is true. Rocco just managing to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, well, but then on the braking, Rocco is...
Johnny's amazing on the brakes. That's something I've noticed. Johnny B is really, really good on the brakes. He's so late and keeps managed to keep the tail end so firm.
So I'm confident this time at least that it is the final lap. So I'll give you a shout out when Drew's about to cross the line. I'm hoping I've got it right this time.
You're crying wolf?
Maybe. My wife will tell you something about being premature, put it that way. Anyway, enough of that innuendo. As I've switched to Drew and he's going around the final corner. He's crossing the line, fingers crossed. Yes, he's doing a victory weave across the line.
And headlight flashing, he's over the line.
Yeah. Johnny, if you want to switch back to that battle with Johnny then, this is the final lap. There's still a couple of corners to go. Johnny is tucked into the rear wing of Rocco, taking very wide line.
Here.
Yeah, but Rocco holds that tight line as well.
On that apex.
Over and under.
He's making that car as wide as he can.
He certainly is.
Again, not optimising that exit for the corner for the run, hoping he can get it. Did he claim the inside? No.
He's going deep, isn't he, Johnny, and then trying to cut back. But because Rocco's holding that tight line, he's not able to carry the speed through because the car's in the way. 2 more corners, 1 more corner to go.
Is he going to go for it? Move for desperation.
He goes.
In it.
Right out. Oh my God! Oh no!
Oh, he lost control.
We'll
He
comes close.
Going to dive over the line.
I don't know. Loz is not going to make
it. Johnny's just scooted in reverse over the line and claimed it.
Oh my word!
Here comes Loz.
I've seen that one. I've seen that one in real life too. There was a driver who went over.
Yeah, if you're gonna, you have to gamble it, don't you?
You do.
Fair play for the effort.
I'm going to go grab some people, guys. Who would you like? I think we've got to have Loz because he had that battle and that spin, and obviously Johnny and
Rocco.
Rocco's driven in and made the defensive drive today.
I'll try and get those 4 in here, guys. I'll be back in a minute. Drew, sorry, Serta, do you need to grab them in, or can they come and just join? I can't remember.
I'm not sure. Truth to be told.
We'll see if we can get them to come over. We'll find out. I'll be back in a moment.
Sure. In the meantime, I'm gonna go for the replay so that we have something at the back. So don't worry, we're gonna be there soon. Just give us a sec. All right, we have Drew, we have Johnny, so let's start with Drew. There we go. Hi Drew, congratulations once again.
Hi guys, yeah, thank you very much.
That was an incredible drive once again, and that after that spin that you had.
Yeah, I'm not very happy with my performance. For me, it was a race of 2 halves. I got a poor start, which put me behind Johnny, which was fine, and then just a bit of miscommunication at turn 1. I thought he was going to stay on the racing line, and I would dive up the inside, and then I saw him slowing, so then I went to take the racing line, but at that point I'd already missed my braking point, tried to recover, and then the outside of the track is really wet. So that was a bit frustrating. That's not what our game plan was going into the race. And so, yeah, had to fight for this one, which was, fun. The spray made it very difficult. There was a hell of a lot of spray during the first 10, 15 minutes. And then my teammates made it challenging to get by, shall we say. So I lost a bit of time to the leaders. But then I think it was me and Noodle were, really pulling away and catching up with the leaders. And then it looks like one of the leaders, I think Toka, had an issue and spun out of the bus stop, and then that allowed me to get through. And then it was just a case of whoever gets it right on the pit stop. And I think Noodle maybe went 2 laps early. I think Johnny went a lap late. And not to blow my own horn, but I think I did get it. I did get it. The exact lap that people should have pitted. So I came out and was immediately faster than my previous lap, which was good. And then the second half of the race was just maintaining the lead, and to be honest, just trying to go as quickly as possible to make up for that stupid mistake on lap 1.
Can I ask, Drew, did you take fuel in the stop? I have a sneaky suspicion that maybe you did a little bit of fuel saving. Did you take fuel or just tyres, sir?
I didn't fuel save at all in this race. I took
you
tyres and 6 litres of fuel.
Oh, I thought maybe because you felt like you had a really quick stop, and I just thought maybe you'd been able to lower that boost pressure or something and get away with tyres only, because obviously the tyres and fuel are done separately. So I thought maybe you'd gained a few seconds in the pit stop by a canny boost setting or something like that. But it turned out it was just a sterling stop.
Yeah, I ran 90% boost, which I think was pretty conservative. I think you could have ran more if you wanted to, but I just wanted to be safe. And then I decided to take 6 litres of fuel. By the end of it, I had 6 litres left, so I didn't really need 6 litres. Probably 1 or 2 would have been fine, but for me it was I felt pretty comfortable going into the second half of the race, so there was no point taking a risk. I may as well just spend that extra second in the pits, and then I can make it back on track.
Definitely. Well, congrats, another great win, and a great win for the KCSR team as well. Johnny, you did very well, sir. You had second, and then you ran wide right at the end there, and I'm afraid it was broadcast to the millions out there. That battle that you, Loz, and Rocco were all having. Loz had the spin, gifted second place to you, I think, and then you and Rocco were battling it out, and you ran wide. Tell us what happened when you ran wide. Did you just lose it under braking? What went wrong, sir?
I think possibly the entire grid will agree that this is a slightly hateful car and the way it behaves.
I love it, Johnny. It's awesome.
And, I certainly saw a lot of people having the same mistake in turn 1. In fact, it's the same. Basically, the rear just gets a little bit loose as the track drops away towards the apex. It's the same thing that caught Drew out at the start. Same thing that caught Loz out, I think, as well. And yeah, it caught me slightly, and then I ran wide onto what is basically the ice rink that is the runoff at turn 1, because it's just still soaking wet. Just about kept it out of the wall, but couldn't get back on track to defend from Rocco, and then tried to do a heroic, almost full DRS open out the final corner to get the run on him, but sadly the rear just got loose there as well.
It was a nice finish.
I saw you reverse over the line. That was a nice corner to keep it going and just roll backwards.
Yeah, I thought about trying to do a J-turn, but not quite sure I'd have pulled it off.
Johnny, can I ask what happened on your in-lap? You seem to have lost 10 seconds on your in-lap.
So I lost, basically you're exactly right, and I should have waited on the tyres, because I was just slowly cooking them, so I'm sure you saw me hunting for the wet patches. I should have given up, but I was just aiming for that lap 15 cut-off that we thought was a pretty good one from the earlier races. And just coming into the, the chase, just the rear got loose and I had the sad AMS2 death spin. And then had to wait for Loz and Rocco to get past, and then lost about 20 seconds I think on the in-lap, and then seemingly lost a good chunk of time to Loz in the stops as well.
I'm keen to understand what happened to Loz, because he seemed to make up loads of time.
Well, he's here. He's managed to join us in chat. He's got his VR suit off, full immersion VR suit. I'm sure that Loz has got there on his rig. But Loz is here with us. Loz, you had that late spin, but the guys were just asking, what did you do on your pit stop? You seem to make up a lot of time in your stop, they think. So
all I did was I just stopped for tyres. I kept going on with the wets for ages. The car felt good. I didn't even feel like I needed to stop, but I thought I better had. And I just
but you didn't take fuel. That was your cunning strategy, was it?
No, just I had 90% boost on, and I managed to make the race last on that. Yeah.
Such a shame at the end. We were watching that battle for second place between you, Rocco.
No,
and
you weren't, were you? Okay.
We were. It got broadcast with the masses. You got caught out by the same thing that various other drivers got caught out with. But it
was more a case of me pushing, trying to keep Johnny behind me for as long as possible. It was more that than me messing up the corners, because I kept doing that in practice and in qualifying even, and it's just I tuned the car to try and not do that, and I succeeded for the most part, apart from that one time.
Well, you certainly gave us an exciting finish, guys.
What was that, Jay?
I say you certainly gave us an exciting finish, guys, with that battle for the end. It was a long race, really hard work for you guys. A lot of the race was about driver versus track and weather versus driver, as opposed to driver versus driver. But that battle at the end for second place was certainly pretty good for us to watch. And the other person we've got in here who was involved in that battle, and we haven't spoken to yet, we've got Rocco here. Rocco, you managed to hold on to second place. You were kind of loitering in the background, maybe hoping that Loz and Johnny would fight it out and you'd be able to capitalise. And after they both made small mistakes that gave away their second place, you managed to hold on to it to the end. Well done, Rocco.
Yeah, thank you, man. What an intense race. I have to say, the intense race of the season so far. Very changing conditions all the time. Every lap was quite a bit different, and yeah, you had to adjust. And I stuck back a bit to keep it safe and to keep it safe. And yeah, it paid out in the end. Second place, very close. I hope you got some nice footage of our threesome battle here.
Absolutely.
We absolutely did.
We definitely did, and it was an RPM combo, and you got a P2 for RPM, so you'll be very pleased with the RPM boys. Well done. We do have Evil Noodle who has joined us as well. Let's quickly invite Evil to speak. Evil, are you there, sir? I've just invited you. Are you there, sir?
Yeah. Hiya.
Hi. How did your race go? Prownage, do you want to take over a little interview with Evil? I keep talking, and I should probably shut up. But Evil, you were doing quite well at one point, and yeah, Prownage, if you want to go ahead.
You were taking it over, man. You're doing absolutely fine. I'm all good. I'm just trying not to. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, you were doing very well at one point, but I'm trying to remember exactly what happened. I think you were doing sort of fifth or sixth, and then was it a spin or something that went wrong? What happened to you, sir?
I think I got up to third. I got up to second at one point, I think. Then I missed a car that had spun, and I clipped the wall myself. So that put me back behind Drew, I believe.
Yeah, you went one way and I went the other, and sadly, you came off the worst.
It was a bit of a shock coming round the corner to see him. I think I had contact with a back marker at some point as well, which I'm not sure about.
Frustrating when it happens, but you still did well. You soldiered on. It was a high DNF race, as it were, compared to some of the other ones because of the trickiness of the combo. You came home with seventh, Evil Noodles. So congrats, guys.
It was a good race, though.
Serta, do you want to finish up and round it all off? And just to say thank you everybody who's joined us in the chat there for the interview at the end. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, the next race in the Automobilista 2 Community Cup, it's going to be on the 29th of November at 2200 CET. As always, it's going to be at Interlagos with which kind of car?
It's the sprint race. It's the AMS unofficial combo. I might actually have to race that one and give you some peace and quiet here in the in the broadcast booth. It's the AMS unofficial combo, the sprint race at Interlagos.
Right, guys. I think.
Sorry, go on. Sorry, Johnny.
No, sorry. That was no. Don't worry.
Drew, sorry.
No, sorry. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, it's Interlagos sprint race, and yeah, you've got the details. Serta's already given you them, so it should be another good combo.
Yeah, so latest in 3 weeks we're gonna see another great race as this was. And until then, save fuel, collect pickup, and we'll see each other at the podium.